Today we're going to take you inside a $1,000 Detroit land bank house. One of our clients is in the process of buying this house right now. They bought a couple others. They bought a building. We're doing a couple for them. We got Tristan and Frank here writing up an estimate on this thing, and we're going to show you guys what the inside looks like. How did they get up here? We did the first step, which was getting up the steps. Oh boy, careful there. It doesn't show on camera, but as soon as I stepped, the whole thing, boom. A lot of water, a lot of rot. It's pretty common in these things. If you look above Connor here, no roof, water's gonna get in. I mean, you can see how much this dropped. That's not, you know, run the straight out. It should be straight to here. It dropped to here. You gotta replace all the rotted wood, all the beams. You may have to do something to the porch, the patio. There's a lot on there. I haven't looked at it yet, but you at least gotta jack this back up. So nothing that's not repairable, but an important thing to look for. Make sure stuff's level. So the land bank puts plexiglass on them, but obviously that's not air or water tight, so water's coming in. You can see all through here, just a lot of water. We'll probably be able to see it better from upstairs, but keep in mind, it's a $1,000 house, that's what you get. So you got living room here. It's actually a really good sized place. I think it's 3 bedrooms, 1 bath each unit. So 6 bedrooms, so pretty good sized building. And you see here, this is the original wood trim. Behind this paint, in the comment section is gonna go wild about me touching old paint, but because it had coats of a thick, probably oil-based, or maybe even lead, paint on it, it just protected it super well. You don't wanna hit it with a scraper because you don't wanna ding up the wood. So you're doing a lot of this by hand, or there's a chemical you can spray on it that'll eat this stuff up. The only problem you run into with that is if you go too heavy on it, it could soak through the paint and then it's gonna destroy the stain and everything else that's on the wood. But if it's under this one, it's probably under this one. And you can see it is. It's probably under that one. But you've got living room, dining room, I guess, with a little dinette, I think they call it, kitchen.
What's up, YouTube?
Kitchen here, I'm guessing, but I don't see any plumbing or anything. But this is the end of it, so this must be the kitchen. So at one point the plumbing came up somewhere, but I have no idea where. I would think it'd be there, but there's no holes in the ground. But this feels like kitchen. You go back here and you can really see what the water does to this place as the water gets in. And it's one thing we tell these people is, you know, it's a $1,000 house. So you gotta keep in mind that when you buy a $1,000 house, you're not gonna have a $20,000 rehab budget. You can see here in this bedroom, this one's probably actually in the best shape in the whole building. Obviously, windows missing, plexiglass, but subfloor is not completely destroyed. You know, the walls, this is just paint coming off. In my perfect world, we would re-drywall this whole place just because, you know, trying to match when you look out here, trying to repair all this, you don't wanna have to try to repair all this and match this to this, and even just like repair it is just a nightmare. So in my perfect world, we just wouldn't repair it. We'd rip it all off and re-drywall everything. But obviously that's up to the owner and the budget. One cool thing though, you can see the outline of this old door handle. So these are old solid wood doors. I mean, these things are pretty thick, a beefy piece. Old crystal knob here, nice doors. Obviously, we're gonna rip them out and redo them all with modern doors, but you can see we've got a bathroom here. Also, roof is gone, the plumbing's fallen. A lot of the drywall, or it may have even been a surround, is gone. You've got the laminate floor, but obviously all that's gotta be ripped up. Now, one thing that I'm not seeing is vents anywhere. So you've got, I believe, a return here, or that.
One in there, one in there. One in the living room, one in the dining room.
Yeah, here's one. So they've got at least 2 registers here, or spots for vents here. I guess at this point, we're gonna venture upstairs and check out the second unit. Before we do that, if you could like and subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. We're trying to hit 100,000 this month. I think at the time of filming, we're like 2,500 away. So if you could like and subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. Help us get that plaque. I mean, even right here, it's like, you wanna be careful walking on a lot of this. So you wanna look for something solid to stand on. But you can see the back door, the porch collapsed. I mean, that's down in the basement. I'm sure Tristan and Frank will go down there and Connor can follow them, but I'm not gonna do that. These appear to be pretty solid. Everybody else, I believe, has already been upstairs, so we know that it's safe to walk, even though I'm gonna test each one of them and make sure they're not too loose. Obviously, I think I'm the biggest guy here, and then Connor's got a big backpack and a camera in his hand, so He's not gonna catch himself either. We made it up top, and now you can see coming through the roof, coming through the side of the house, not only is the door open, but you can see a bunch of daylight coming through there. So over the winter when it snowed, and then every time since when it rains, anything else, it's all coming straight through. That's why it rotted right through there. This room is really interesting, so you might like this on camera. You can see where the big hole in the roof is, and that's where a lot of this backside water issue is coming in. It obviously ran straight through the floor. Somebody put that little somebody put that little piece of plywood there thinking it would help. Obviously not the case. These floors are completely rotted out. I'm not gonna go any further than this. There's a closet behind me, but you can tell that's completely rotted out and just has to be redone. You come in this room, it's interesting because downstairs, this bedroom was probably also in the best shape too. So specifically, whoever built this corner of the house did a really good job. Windows gone, you know, it's what you'd expect, but we're second story here, right? So the land bank didn't put any plexiglass or anything over this. So what does that mean? Like I said, every time it rains, snows, whatever, it's all coming right in here. So a lot of water, a lot of damage, a lot of problem. On top of that, somebody was throwing rocks through the windows, which is nice. But this is also where birds, squirrels, raccoons, things like that are gonna come in the house. So you always wanna make sure the first step, we tell everybody when you take over a property like this, whether it's land bank, whether it's private sale, whatever it is, when you take it over, first thing you wanna do, roofs, windows, doors. Get the roof on so it's dry. Get the windows on so it's dry and secure. Board them up if you want to. We recommend you do once they're in, but that's up to you. And then get the doors on. Dry, secure, that's really what you're looking for. The window just cracked. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but there's a slight slope to the top of that. Let me see, to the top of this window here, there's a slight slope. So the weight shifted, so it cracked. So again, jack posts pick it up, but to that drywall point, you don't wanna have to match this, right? Because you look out here to the upper level dining room, it's just gone, right? Everything's gone. So now you're gonna wanna try to match it to this. No, it's gonna be a pain in the... You just wanna re-drywall the whole thing. You can hear the neighbor's dog going crazy. Now I'm willing to bet these are probably the original hardwoods. You can see they buckled there. So again, that's water. When you get water in the wood, it absorbs the water and it just kind of expands, right? So as it absorbs it, it expands and expands and expands and eventually pops. And that's what happens when it buckles. The other option is if it sat over the winter and got wet and there wasn't enough to buckle it, it freezes. And when it freezes, it expands and it can pop it too. Buckle, 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 buckle. Obviously, if you look up here, holes in the roof. I don't know if you can see in front of Frank there, but that door is wide open. So just a lot of water coming in here. Water, like we always say, is probably the most destructive force. You can also see in front of Frank there where somebody just completely went through the floor. You can tell it's super weak up here, but that's literally just a pit in the floor there. Projects like this are not for the faint of heart. They are not cheap, they are not fast, they are not easy. They are expensive, they are slow, and they are difficult. But usually, the slower it is, the more expensive it is, and the harder it is, the less people are doing it.
Yeah.
Frank just crossed that like a madman. Frank, how many square feet you think this is?
A couple thousand for sure. This one's big.
You got it?
Yeah.
I mean, 4,000?
Could be 3. It's huge.
3,000, 4,000 square feet, 6 bedrooms, 2 baths, all brick too. Yeah, I mean, the juice might be worth the squeeze, you know what I mean? Because there's a ton of people buying these land bank houses, right? But it's a cash heavy game, right? You can't do this with 30, 40 grand. This is an expensive thing to do, but on the backside, you get a lot of juice out of the squeeze. You can see Frank crossed that. Yeah, right. Frank crossed that. I'm not crossing that.
No, it's obviously...
Yeah, I mean, you can see where the water came through the roof and rotted it all. Frank actually got a new shirt. You want to tell him the origin of that shirt?
Reach out to Sanborn Construction and I will do my best.
Third bedroom here, the electrical's exposed. The reason there's all these punch outs by all the electrical, because somebody at some point stripped it. So there's probably no electrical, probably no plumbing. I mean, this just has PVC coming through the ground, it looks like, back in the bathroom. I'm willing to bet somebody stripped the electrical, somebody stripped the plumbing. A lot of windows here too. Like we tell people all the time, 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 windows there, 2 windows here. I mean, you can look at this house here and get a good example of it. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14 windows on that side. Call it 14 windows on the other side, 28 windows. Then you probably got 6 on the front, 6 on the back. That's 40 windows in total. Maybe there's a few more front and back I can't see. 45 windows total. You know, when you're talking, that could be $40,000 in windows. Once you do the framing, the trim, the caulk, the paint, the metal coil on the outside, the window screens, all that, I mean, it really starts getting up there. So you might look at this and your numbers work, and then you forget to count the windows and you're like, I got 50 grand in windows. So windows, always a big thing to think about when you're budgeting something. Is anyone going in the basement?
Yeah, we did. It actually looks great.
Do you want to go down there again?
If you can maneuver it.
Well, I'm not. That's why I'm asking.
Oh yeah, no, it looks worse than it is. It's not bad, actually. It feels worse than it is. Or looks worse than it is, I guess. So
each side is for each?
Yeah, each side for each part of the duplex. This section isn't bad. The walls are in pretty good shape, surprisingly. Even the glass block windows are in pretty good shape. Floor joists are good for the most part. This is no big deal. Just taking pictures as well. So back here, there's a new water meter. I don't know where the electric comes in at. So the city put in a new line. The walls are not bad. I mean, it looks worse than it is. It's just a little bit of water damage, but nothing's bowing, you know, nothing's missing. Up here, obviously, it's bad. This is the front where that water leak is. Yeah. All right, let's see. Let's go out into, whoops, watch your head. Not sure what that is. Yeah, I'm not sure. It doesn't really recognize. It does. Oh. Over here, same thing. There's only one water meter in here though, which can be okay. But the block windows seem to be okay. The foundation seems to be okay. A couple floor joists seem to be repaired. It's actually not bad.
No TLC.
Yeah, all the wiring is out for the most part. The HVAC is gone.
They put a new plumbing.
Somebody did put a new drain in. I have no idea why. It's the newest thing in the house.
Yeah.
But you can see, I mean, everything's cut, nothing's connected.
Yeah.
This goes nowhere. But it's typical what you'd see for a land bank. But if you're looking at these things, I would always start from the bottom, because if you've got problems here, it doesn't matter what's up there. And these seems pretty good. The floor is actually not too bad. Buy a land bank. And call us.
So like we were talking about from the inside, there's that hole there and you can tell everything dropped. It's because you got all this brick, this stone. It's just really heavy. So when it gets wet and it loses integrity, it's just a lot of weight pulling down on it, plus the weight of the house itself. I mean, you can see on the beam up here how it just dropped. Now, obviously they're sloped a little bit, so when it rains and gets wet, the water runs off, but that's more than it should be. Do we get down?
Pat's on his way. Okay, Pat's on his way. That's it.
Yeah, I figured. I'm gonna film this. We got Wonder Boy Connor coming down. He never gets on the videos. Everybody says they want to see Connor. There's Connor.
Do they?
Yeah.
Yeah. They should.
I've seen it a few times. When are we gonna see Connor? I'm like, in the comments I said, I don't know, he usually edits himself out. So you can tell from the outside, soffit, fascia, damage, right? Just old roof. You could see, like we saw from the inside, it fell through. So a lot of this, you can see from back here, trees growing over the house. So a lot of that stuff's just gotta be cut down, cut back, cut off, whatever you wanna say. You can see what kind of age we got on this roof here just by the look of the shingles. We'll obviously be doing a new roof here. We'll be cleaning up a lot of the foliage off the back. Maybe we cut them down, maybe we just trim them up. We'll see when we look at the trees. But that's a look at the inside of a $1,000 Detroit duplex. So if you wanna see another video where we tour some other properties like this, click right here.